Dear Fierosians, hello, are you reborn? Hello, welcome to Fieros the Reborn One. Welcome here, hello, come in, sit, yes, haha, splendid, good to see you, you are the camera to me, but what am I to you? Hi, Fieros' story time. Clap whoopish, clap whoopish, clap whoopish, clap whoopish, clap 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 whoopish, clap whoopish, clap whoop 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 whoopish. Clap whoopish, wish wish wish, clap whoopish, wish wish wish. Hello. Hello. Let's just make sure we're all here. Nah. Hi. Yeah. Can you feel it? Here I am. Hello, my name is Fieros. Sort of. I say it is, so therefore it is. I fart, therefore I am. Hello. Okay, so Fieros' story time. Where did we get to? Let's get all the nose itching out of the way now, because it just carries on coming, babies. Fieros' story time. Whoa! You just found a new thing! Hello! Again, for the 10th millionth time, let's get the Book of Glory out. Questions are the answers. Where is it though? Whoa, I found it with my powerful eyes! Come on, Fieros. Whoops. Okay! Ah! Oh shit, it's a chain reaction. Now, no, I don't think any of you will remember the days when I just went throwing books off the ceiling and onto the ceiling. But that did happen. Hi again. Right, so let's have a look. Questions are the answers. Questions are the answers. Pick a page, pick a page, pick a page for the wisdom. How about I splash water all over it and find out which page the water lands on? Well, that's quite a good idea, actually. Introducing elements of chaos. Hold on, let's see what you can see, and let's see what you can't see. Whoop. Oh! Carefully disguising my groin there. Oh! You can't see it, but nothing's happening. Come on now! Oh dear, how risky! So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just spill. You can't see what I'm looking at. It doesn't really matter, really, does it? It's just going to spill water on a page. I don't know. He's going. The page. 5 solid gold questions. Sorry, I'm a bit violent today. Aren't I? Sorry. Okay. Press hot button, it says. Press hot button. Press hot button. Do you have a hot button? Let's press it. Press it. Boop. Showing the plan. This is where blah, 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 blah. The business plan is only a solution to a problem or the way to... This is rubbish. Why did I bother doing this? Let's get back to the bit where it says 10 to 5 to 4, 3, 2. Fuck this bollocks. 10 to 5 to 4, 3, 2, 1. You are in the numbers business. 10 to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 10 to 5 to 4, 3 to 1. 10 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1. To me to you. Chuckle Brother's dead now, isn't he? Barry. Oh no. 10 to 5 to 4. I didn't mean it. 10 to 5 to 4, 3. 10 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1. 10 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1. 10 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1. Now, you could think, actually, that I predicted the future when I was doing this a while ago. That someone saying, to me to you, to me to you, to 10 to 5 to 4 to 3 to 1, to you, to me to you. And then all of a sudden he died. How did I kill him? I killed him by saying the things. There's the bit that says, follow your dream. Hello. Sorry, don't mind me if I forget about you for a moment. Follow your dream into my mouth. Follow your dream. Okay, that's enough. Right, the Fieros story time. Now you're here on the same page as me, the Follow Your Dream page. Welcome back to Fieros Reborn. That's the name of the channel. My name's Fieros. Hello, how are you doing? Are you okay? Annie? Are you okay, Annie? Annie? Are you okay, Annie? 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 Are you okay or what, motherfucker? You've been hit by... A smooth wibble. Come on now. I'm waiting for you to catch up. Come on. Is your brain finished yapping away? Yap, yap, yappity. Okay, right. You never know what could happen when... This is what I do to make things continue while I think of something else to find to spend a little time on the camera while I rewind down. Isn't it? Isn't it? Let us all pray for the lost ones. Okay, I'm sure this is terrible right now, but I don't care. Because I am evil, so evil towards my fan base. Come on now, Fieros story time. Okay, let's actually get back to it. Because I feel like I'm... Oh, the cables. No, don't play around with cables, because you could get garroted by yourself. Let's have a look. Hello? 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 I'm not even having fun. This is just pretend. It's all make believe. I'm not even enjoying my life anymore. I'm just playing it. Oh shit! I'm just playing a role now, innit? I'm just Fieros Reborn. Welcome to the channel. Fucking bollocks, all that stuff. I do think though that my eyes look rather splendid at the moment. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Do you reckon the closer I get, the better they look, don't they? Wide-eyed and crazy, but hello? Yeah. Good, innit? Hello? Yes. Alright, so Fieros story time. Let's actually do it now. So, recapping on last time, I was in America. I was living with a hobo under a bridge, getting freezing fucking cold and asking for free hot chocolates from the local gas station. Gas. Gallon of gas, please. You're a green boy. You gotta get out there and make you some money. That was the hobo. I tell him, damn crackhead, tell me that fucking tell me, I'll stick it in her. I'll stick it in her. Don't shoot the messenger. That's just what happened. Do you deny it? Do you deny it? Do you? Do you? Well, do you? Do you deny it or not? I don't know. Okay, come on. So yeah, so I was living under a bridge like a tramp, and it was actually quite good in various ways. As I was saying in the last video, it was quite a freeing feeling. It's quite fun. But then there was this annoying hobo guy. Damn hobo! Shut up! I just wanted to say, shut the fuck up. But instead, I just recorded his voice on my dictaphone, which I don't have anymore, by the way, which is a shame. Because I got rid of a lot of stuff when I came back home, because I felt like I needed to de-junk my life again. Okay, so yeah, and I managed to get up into like a band practice with this random band that I bumped into, who were like, some of them were at Blockbusters or something, and I like just chatted to people. I tended to just chat to random people, and they were in Blockbuster, and I said hello, blah blah blah. Do you reckon that I should like stay in America illegally because my visa's about to run out, or should I go home? And they said, "Oh, well, you should probably go back home, really, but up to you, really. So do what you like." But they said it in an American accent, of course, which I'm not going to attempt to do because it would be a travesty against them, because they all have their own individual voice, and I can only remember "God damn crackhead nigga." I mean, that's what he said. I can only remember the hobo guy's voice, okay? And Will, who would say, "That's just the way I roll." No, that's just the way I roll. I don't know how he said it, for goodness sakes. Yeah. So that was quite cool to like find this band and randomly not jam with them, but to just listen to them, kind of sit about and listen to them jam. I don't remember if it was any good, actually. I remember being intrigued, like kind of mystified by the whole experience. Like, how have I found myself in fucking band practice for a little while? Like, it's weird enough that I'm living under a bridge in a completely different country to my home country with a tramp, and now I'm in a band practice and I've got to get back home to the tramp soon. You know, like, what? Yeah. So I have a feeling that maybe this is not a funny story. I mean, I'm telling it in a kind of light-hearted way, and I had this counselling session one time. It wasn't really a counselling session; it was an interview for joining a counselling course to learn how to be a counsellor in the future. But it was just like, pardon me, it was just the second level. So you got counselling course, like had this beginner level, which was a 10-week course, and then they had the second level, level 2, which was a 30-week course. And then you had level 3 and level 4, and then I think there was a fifth type of level called, I don't know, something else level, but I don't think it was called level 5. It was called like, I don't know, something else. Anyway, so I did a level 2 course, but I had to have an interview. This was like way after I came back from America, but I had to do an interview to like just with one of the course leaders. So 2 course leaders, and I had to have an interview with one of them to like just see if I was suitable or see if my motivation was in a good place for it. And, you know, they had to do it with everyone, and it was just like a requirement that you go and have an interview. You can't just sort of go and do it randomly and then bail, I suppose, or, you know, they just want to check if it's right for you and if you're right for it. Okay. And while I was having this chat with this counsellor, he picked up on the way I was speaking about my psychosis period, in that I was laughing about it, and I was kind of trying to make a joke out of what was actually quite a traumatic and difficult experience to go through. And he picked up on that, and it was the first time that someone had ever really been insightful as to how I was speaking about something. And I remembered that for a long time. You know, that's actually helped me to understand when other people are using defense mechanisms and strategies to like avoid going deeper and to avoid talking about how things really were for them and how people like really felt about certain things. Like when you're using humor as a defense, or using a social image as a way to tell a story rather than your experiential, felt and seen and heard way of telling a story. It's like that one little piece of insight that he gave me, that, oh yeah, I'm telling it like it's a joke, and it's actually not really a joke. It was pretty horrendous in lots of different ways. So that little kind of nugget of seeing clearly how I was later, it just like, I suppose it just kind of, in a way, it taught me to be okay with the fact that it's shit and to not have to make it into a joke. And to not always put a positive spin on things. Like, I think there's a tendency or a pressure for people who have been through a survival type story, like whether it's a survival of abuse or survival of horrendous conditions, or if it's like torture, or if it's just surviving alcoholism or drug addiction. That's that kind of like very difficult life circumstances, and you're telling a survival story about it. There's a sense that I get that people want to hear the happy ending out of it. They want to know that you're better now. They want to know, and this is just a personal thing that I feel, is that people are looking to feel hopeful about the fact that you've come through a situation. And I guess I'm here to tell you that there's not always a happy ending. And of course, in life, the final ending is when we die. And I suppose that could be happy or unhappy. But what I'm trying to say is, I maybe I'm still playing that pattern of trying to make light out of this quite difficult and upsetting, traumatic circumstance. And if I am, well, I mean, I feel like I am. I feel like I have done that for a lot of these videos. I mean, if you look back at the ones that I started doing right at the beginning, when I first started the course, when I first started the course of videos, the series of videos, right? When I first started them, I was reading from a dictionary and finding all these silly kind of words and being very like laughy, jokey in a kind of slightly unsettling way. Like when I look back at it, I feel the energy underneath that is kind of unsettled. Like like as I sense into the video and I watch myself and listen to myself, I'm thinking, nah, oh god, like this feels like a big defense right at the beginning. It feels like a whole big bundle of pain that's underneath all that jumpy stuff. And it's still funny though, like don't get me wrong, I still find that funny, the silliness I'm doing. Not all of it, but some of it I find funny. And some of it's kind of cringy because I'm thinking, oh god, when you put that in context with what I actually talk about later, it's like I can see how I was trying to basically, I don't know if defend is the right word, but it's like work my way in slowly to a very difficult set of topics and a difficult set of stories. And maybe that's some of the reason why I piss about so much in these videos. There's a sort of way to jump over the difficulty of it, to sort of try and make it easier for me to go into it, like to relax myself. And I also feel like if my audience is relaxed, if you've had a laugh in some way, even if it's at my own expense, if you've had a laugh and you feel chilled and you're more open and receptive to what I'm going to say, then it feels easier for me to talk about it. Because if I just dive straight in sometimes, I feel like I could be pissing people off because it's a difficult subject, or I feel like I could be unsettling people straight away, and I don't like that feeling of other people being turned off by me, I suppose, or finding it too hardcore straight away. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a hard topic. I lived under a bridge. It was freezing cold. I had no money. I didn't really have any food. I was begging for food. What else? I was miles away from my family. I'd been kicked out of where I was living with this weird, confused person who had slapped me in the face a couple of times and who had kicked me in the balls. Need me in the balls, bloody hell. Need me in the balls. Kick me in the balls. Let's just say fucking kick me in the balls. Kicked me in the balls, was being a right arsehole to me, and had ejected me from her house. Previous to that, I had run out of money at my hostel, so I was on the streets of New York. I had my guitar nicked. What else? I didn't know where I was going, what I was going to do. I got sexually assaulted by an older man because I had nowhere to stay, and so I got picked up by this older guy, basically. Also, I nearly lost my driving license to a cab driver because I thought that somehow the universe was going to pay for my cab journey somewhere, and it didn't. And I believe that I gave the guy my phone and my driving license as a kind of payment collateral, and he gave me back the driving license at the last minute, but I think he kept the phone. I may have got the phone back later from some like cab company, the sort of HQ of the cab company, but I'm not sure. But yeah, I got my driving license back. So that was pretty hairy, you know, pretty shit. Could have gone either way. I forgot to mention this as well. There was a period of time when I literally had nowhere to go. I was homeless in New York, right? And I basically was staying in a Starbucks. And it's very similar actually to how I live my life now in some ways, in that I do spend a lot of time in coffee shops, but this was to an extreme where I was actually kind of staying there until they closed, which was around 1 a.m. I think, or midnight, or 1 a.m. Can't remember exactly. I could probably find out actually. Starbucks is in Times Square, because they weren't quite 24-hour, but they were kind of close to it. Starbucks in Times Square opening hours. It might be different now, huh? Broadway. And I obviously can't remember exactly bloody which one it was, can I? Okay, let's just pick one. Open 24 hours. 2 a.m. There's one 5:30 a.m. to 2 a.m. Yeah, 12 a.m. So it could have been the 2 a.m. one, to be fair. I'm not sure. But so I was basically staying there, and I feel like I had a little bit of money, and I don't know where it had come from. But like this was when I was right down to the last little amounts of money that I had. So it probably, I'm guessing it wasn't enough to pay for a hostel, but just a little bit. I feel like it's like $31 or something like that in my account. I can't remember. It was a long time ago now. Okay, it was like 10 years ago. But yeah, so I stayed in like one of these Starbucks just for as long as I could to stay warm, and I was already freezing cold then, and that was in New York. So there was a lot of coldness going on, I'll say that much, and coldness sucks. Okay, coldness really sucks. It hurts. It's not a fun feeling. It's a painful feeling to be very cold over an extended period of time. And it's like, it's not a joke how cold it was, because it was cold. But to the point where you're not getting warmer and you're inside. Does that make sense? So you're already cold from being outside and being exposed, maybe a bit wet, and it's just fucking cold. And then you go inside and you're inside in the warm, and you're still not getting warm because the coldness has gone in. I don't think it was quite hypothermia, but it was like just extended coldness for a long period of time. And then it happened under the bridge as well. Just that feeling of being constantly cold and not being able to warm up. Like as I said before in the previous video, to the point where it feels like it's seeped into your bones. And occasionally I get that feeling now, but I found ways that are good to like warm up, which is to have a hot bath, to lie out in the sun. I find that the sun tends to warm me better than being inside. Sometimes being under a cover in a warm room still doesn't warm me up. But it's much better, you know. I'm not saying that I'm anywhere near as cold as I used to be. In fact, I'm quite warm. So I don't know what I'm blagging. I'm just blagging right now. I'm totally blagging. I'm totally blagging, trying to play a sub story on you. But at the time, it was fucking cold. Okay, really, really cold. And so I think I was getting by, like managing to stay in the Starbucks by buying like a muffin or something every now and again. Blueberry muffin or something, just because it was one of the cheapest things that you could buy. There were cheaper things. Don't hassle me, okay? I don't know exactly what I bought, but I stayed there until I could. I think I only did it one night, but might have done it a second night as well. And around that time, or specifically on one of those days, maybe there were 2 days that I did that, stay in the Starbucks until like 2 a.m. But on one of the days, there was this like annoying fucking, I guess he was a tramp as well. I mean, I'm not sure whether he was a tramp or a tourist or what, but he was from a different country, and all he could say was "continero," and he would point at things and go, "Garbage, continero," and I don't know where he was from. I have no idea. Maybe he was Polish. I'm not exactly sure. I've looked up the fucking word continero, right, in all the different spellings that I can think of, and the closest I've come to find out what it actually is curtain rail. I don't think that's what it is. Continero. Cantinero de Cuba. Cantineros. Cantinero is what I've got. Cantinero, which is Spanish, which means, hold on, sorry if you know this already, but barman or barmaid or bartender. Cantinero, cantinera. Probably saying that wrong anyway. But I don't think that's what he was saying, because he was just pointing at random stuff and saying, garbage, cantinero, continero, cantinero, continero. It was continero, continero, continero. I don't know what it means. And I've never found out. And so it's kind of, if anyone knows what this word might mean, and it seems to be associated with saying that things are shitty. So it might be sort of to say that something's crap or rubbish or garbage. Garbage. Continero. Continaro. I don't even know how it would be spelled, you know. Continaro. I don't know what it means. I've never known what it means. So there was this tramp guy from a different country who could not speaking any English. And he was so annoying because he just followed me around, and I didn't have anywhere to go to get away from him. So I remember getting on this bus. I don't know how I got on the bus. Maybe I had already got a ticket or some kind of metro thing, subway thing, whatever. I got on this bus to try and escape him, and he just got on the bus as well. I'm like, no, man. And he was carrying around this bag of some kind. I feel like it was a black bin liner bag, but I don't know. It could have just been a rucksack, and I'm just like overinterpret. No, I think he was carrying a black bin liner bag full of some. I don't know what it was full of, but full of something. And he'd always be saying garbage, continero about everything. And then, so he followed me everywhere. Like I went to Times Square, the tube station, subway station, whatever. Grand Central Station. Grand Central Station. I went to Grand Central Station. And I walked around through there. And this guy was still following me everywhere, which is just getting really annoying. And he wouldn't kind of leave me alone. And I don't know what his deal was, like why he was following me. I don't know whether it was because he found me attractive or whether because he thought I was his friend. I may well have said hello to him, like, you know, being friendly while I'm waiting maybe to get on the bus or waiting somewhere, or I don't know, just said hi to this guy. And he just like latched onto me for the whole day, and I couldn't understand the hell fucking nothing that he was saying. I couldn't understand anything that he was saying. And there's this just annoying guy following me, which eventually he fucked off. But it took a good long amount of hours, probably about 8 hours this guy was following me around for. I went into the Starbucks and sat down, and I'm like, yeah, go away. Like, leave me alone. He was like, blah, 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 blah. Garbage, continero, blah, 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 blah. and he went like pointing at random stuff. I don't know what the fuck, and he was like, I was like, to mean I'm going to go over there into this. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was Madame Tussauds even. I think there's Madame Tussauds in. Hold the line, Madame Tussauds in New York. Yeah, there's blatantly one in New York. Madame Tussauds, New York. Yeah, and Times Square. Wow, I'm actually telling my own fucking life story correctly. Yeah, PlayStation Theatre. So I'm just looking at a map now. Well, I've lost it. Times Square. Port Authority bus terminal, yeah. That's where I lived for a little bit. Madame Tussauds. Oh, there must be a Starbucks around there then somewhere, eh? Hey, boys and girls. Okay, okay. What if I type in Starbucks next to that? Starbucks near Madame Tussauds. Oh, there's loads of them. Loads everywhere. Okay, Washington City. That doesn't sound good. I've gone to Washington by accident. Oh no. Near Madame. Near. Hold on, Google. Calm yourself. Near Madame Tussauds, New York. Wow. Oh fuck. Why can't you just go? Come on, Google. Read my mind, innit? Do you know what I mean? Hotel Pennsylvania. Mustang Sally. Mustang Hallies. Sally's. Harry's. Mustang Harry's. Boo boo boo. I don't know where I am on this. Terminal 23. Where's the Port Authority, loves? Yeah, good. Port Authority bus terminal, please. Starbucks. Man, New York is a big place. Manhattan. Pardon me. Oh, please help me, Lord. Starbucks near Port Authority bus terminal. Right, there's bing there. Madame Tussauds. Ah, yes. Yes, the sweet love of Jeebus. Okay, yeah, so there is one. Ah, so that's where it must have been. Okay. Alright, that's just for my knowledge, really. So there's the Starbucks near Port Authority bus terminal, and there's Madame Tussauds just across the way. So that makes sense. So I found the actual Starbucks on the map here. If you type in, if you want to know for the hell of it, if you type in, well, I don't know, just type something in. If you type in directions, type what's the name of the address? Okay, 30 West 42nd Street Starbucks. Let's try that. West 42nd Street Starbucks, New York. West 42nd Street Starbucks, New York, into Google Maps. Boom, there are two there. But find the one near Madame Tussauds. Okay. Yeah, wicked. Okay, fine. So I lived in that little Starbucks for a bit, and then this idiot weird guy who's following me around all afternoon and evening, and morning as well actually, went off to Madame Tussauds. Saying gibberish. And me not knowing what the hell he's saying. And not knowing why the hell he's picked me as a friend for fuck's sake. And then he comes back after an hour or so with a few key rings and shit going, blah, 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 blah. Garbage Continero. I'm like, just fucking go. Just go. I thought you were gone. Just go. Oh, man. And and I think he fucked off. He got the idea. I think I was just saying go away or something like that, and he eventually got the idea. But for fuck's sake, to be fair, I didn't find him threatening per se. I just found him lingering and annoying, and I was like, why are you here, you weird fucking person? So I got rid of him. Okay, another story actually from the streets of New York was I would randomly talk to homeless people as well. Yeah. And there was this one guy, I don't know whether he was Jewish or what, but I guess he had the kind of Jewish feeling about him. No, he didn't have the Jewish feeling about him at all. I don't know what I'm on about. He had a Christian feeling about him. He was carrying a Bible, right? And he was reading the Bible all the time. Oh God, this is kind of sad in a way. But I don't know. I don't know whether he was mad or not. I think that, yeah, probably he was. But he was reading this Bible, and pushing a trolley with some stuff in. Yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to like make assumptions about how he felt about his life. But he had a Bible and he was reading the Bible religiously. And like I stopped to speak to him. I guess I had some kind of trolley as well myself. Trolley buddies. Man. I don't care, right? You know what? Actually, honestly, being homeless for me was not that bad. Okay? Just gonna say it. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. Maybe I'm playing to an expectation that it should be bad to be homeless. And in a way, there was feelings of, oh God, I don't know what I'm going to do next, and I don't know where I'm going and what I'm doing. So there's like this confusion and anxiety about that. But on another part of it, it was like, oh well, like I have the feeling that people, whoever they are, want me to paint homelessness as being a terrible thing in all cases. And that's just not my full experience. Some of it was bad, all right? The freezing cold, as I've said, was really bad and that sucked. But some of it was kind of fun and kind of cool and just weird. You know, it's not like, oh, homeless, so that's the worst thing. Like, I couldn't imagine myself being homeless. Oh my God, like, I don't know what I would do without this and that. And like, oh, my parents and so on. Like, my experience of it, it was okay. It was, yeah, it was scary, but part of that was the fun of it. Part, like, the scariness and not knowing what to do was part of the adventure. Like, the not knowingness, being thrust into the wild and into the open expanse of what the fuck, was part of the adventure. And as I'd said previously, I actually had that as an intention and as a wish and a dream and a goal to actually do that. So, yeah, it sucked that I wasn't warm anymore and I didn't have any safety. There was that, okay? And yes, it sucked that I was abused sexually and it sucked to beg for food. But I don't want to like diminish your feeling of empathy for me, but it was kind of fun. It was like, that's like, it wasn't like really, really, really fun for a lot of it. But it was such a fucking experience, such a rich learning experience, okay? And, like, if anyone would have listened, and a few people did listen, I would have been raving about it when I came home. And I did rave about it a bit to the point where no one wanted to listen anymore. Yeah, like, because it's such a different experience. It was so out of the ordinary. And to be homeless in a completely different country with no resources other than my own idiotic brain, thinking that God was going to bring me all sorts of things, and then no, it didn't. He didn't. It didn't. Whatever, bring those things at all. But it was all good. It wasn't all good, but it was all good. I'm trying to convey that there was light and dark, basically light and dark. Yeah, fear, pain, and then excitement, joy, strangeness, the richness, I suppose, more comes in retrospect, but the living of it had a certain edge to it as well. It's kind of like you just have to make each decision as you go along as to what the fuck are you going to do next. And so it's a strange thread of like being on a map, and you don't know where the destination is, so you're just trying out these various different potential options. And if something gives you a clue in a way as to what to do next, and you feel like you've gone to the next part, then you go that way. That doesn't sound like it makes any sense, but it's like totally like living on the spur of the moment and going where your next feeling is, going where what feels right. And then, okay, yes, I called my parents, and in a way I feel a bit ashamed that I did, because I would have rather have just carried on and managed to figure it out somehow by myself, because those would have hit my terms and conditions a bit more. But I feel like I just had to call my parents, because it got to the point where that was the only thing to do. That was the only thing left to do. You know, I couldn't just carry on like that without some kind of help. Yeah, but I didn't really want to call my parents. I think that I just had to call them because I did hit a rock bottom desperation moment. But my sort of wish would have been to carry on if I could have, and figure it out somehow, but I didn't manage to. Yeah, but so I was homeless on the streets of New York for a bit. Yeah, so I was gonna say I was talking to this Bible guy, right? And how to describe him? So I feel like he was quite, not built, but he wasn't sort of skinny. He was stocky, I suppose. I feel like he had like a one of those jackets with the furriness on it, like that around the top, but like a pilot's jacket, bomber jacket, if that's what it's called. Yeah, and I think he had a hat on as well. And I get the sensation as well that there were occasional bangs, and didn't know whether there were gunfires in the background or backfiring cars. Remember, I was in Harlem around this time, so it could have been gunfire. I remember a couple of shots being fired, or a couple of loud bangs, and not knowing whether they were guns. And I feel like some people went like that as well, like ah, but I don't know, because I didn't see anything, and they kind of quietened down after about 5-10 minutes. But it was sort of over somewhere that I couldn't see either. So it was a bit like, whoa, that was a bit scary. Yeah, I was scared at that point. I'm not going to lie, I was scared at that point. But then it kind of just blew over. So you know when you just forget about things, just forgot about it. I can feel like if there's a counsellor here, that they would be, if there was a counsellor here, they would be asking me, why, what have you just dissociated from the fear? No, it just didn't matter that much. Oh God. Sometimes things just aren't that bad, but they sound like they are bad. But the experience of them is not that bad. Either that, or I've just already processed it so much that I just don't feel caught up in it anymore. Whatever. So yeah, so that happened. But right, let's get back to the Bible guy. So let's pretend that I've got. It was quite a big fat Bible that he had. And he was reading it very carefully, and he got it, and he was like pointing at this certain bit. And he was like, "Look, hey, look." I'm gonna try a stupid voice. Hey, look. You see what it says here? The Lord has broken the staff of the wickedness. You see? I had a vision last night. And it was that the Lord had broken the staff of the wickedness. And see what it says here in the Bible, huh? See this verse? The Lord hath broken the staff of the wickedness. And I was like, yeah. I was quite taken in by it for a brief period. And I didn't know what it meant, but I thought that, yeah, I could sense that, yes, this probably does mean something. And maybe, and he did this as well. The Lord has broken the staff of the wickedness. And he was doing it like that, and then pointing at the Bible and telling me this line. It's like, I had this vision last night in a dream. The Lord had broken the staff of the wickedness. was like, and I was taken in by it. I was like, yeah, whoa, maybe there will be some good things happening because the Lord has broken the staff of the wickedness. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. He actually said wickedness when he said it, though. I believe he said wickedness. Maybe he said wicked, as it is written, as it is written. Let's read it. Isaiah 14:5, BibleHub.com. Whoa. The downfall of the king of Babylon. You will sing the song of contempt against the king of Babylon. How the oppressor has ceased, and how his fury has ended. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked, the scepter of the rulers. It struck the peoples in anger with unceasing blows. It subdued the nations in rage with relentless persecution. Yeah. So there you go. So there was this guy who was reading this bit, and it felt very, very important the way he was saying it. As though something good had happened in the world because the Lord had broken the staff of the wicked. I still swear he said wickedness. But maybe he said wicked because that's what it actually says in the Bible. But I remember that very clearly as well. And I remember being a little bit disturbed by it afterwards for a brief period on the Greyhound bus to wherever I was fucking going. And I remember thinking, oh man, what does that mean? Maybe it means earthquake or something. I don't know. Earthquake, volcano, could be. And I remember like running through various different scenarios as to what it might mean, and not ever coming to a particular conclusion. But then it just faded away, as things do in consciousness, don't they? We have thoughts and feelings and ideas, and then they fade away, and that's just how we move on with life. And I went on to something else, thinking about something else. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. Oh, my staff. The ruler, the scepter of the rulers has been done. Oh, feel that relief when the staff of the wicked has been broken. Staff meaning stick, cane, ruling cane, something of a symbol of power. Death. Yeah. Good. The Lord has broken the staff of the wicked. Aren't you glad? I certainly am. And I was taken in, as I say, by that. And I think that's the end of that part, actually. But there's just something you have to be wary with street people, which is they will try and monopolize you. They will try and take you into their strange world because they're starved of attention. Not everyone, but a lot of them just want someone to talk to. And if you give yourself to them in that sense of listening, if you give street people your time, they will gobble it up because they need it. And it's like they don't get much human contact, some of them. So just be aware that if you are planning to speak to street people, to just be aware of your boundaries, basically, as to knowing inside when you go, okay, that's enough, now I'm going. And figure out ways to say that politely to them. Or, as I have tended to do, when I get bored, I just walk away without saying anything because it's just easier. And it's also a little bit of a shock, and it gives you enough time to get far enough away without them realising. So you just leave. Oh dear, I've done that. I do that in a lot of situations. Like if someone's just going blah, 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 I'll either hang up on them or just walk away without them noticing. Or I just I just walk away because it's the kind of thing where they're jabbering away so much that there's not an opportunity to say something. And I can't be bothered to force my way into it. So I just go, do you know what? I'm in control of this part of me. I'm in control of my body. I can't do anything about them jabbering away. I could say, look, mate, shut the fuck up. But that might provoke them. So I'm just going to walk. And if they chase me, well, whatever, we'll come. If that comes to it, we'll deal with that. But it usually doesn't. In fact, I don't think it has ever come to that. If you just walk away without saying anything, just walk away, and I don't think they really care or they notice. They just switch. They're kind of stunned sometimes. People get stunned. They're like, what? Oh, oh shit. And I hung up on people as well. Just, what's the point? You don't want to. The reason I hang up on people quite often is because they're just chatting away without realising that there's another person here. Hello, hello. You know, I'm here as well. What about me? Or if someone's turning into an asshole for a while and you're going, okay, I'm going to just put the phone down, not answer the phone for a while if it's the same person ringing me back, and then we'll talk again when they've finished being an asshole. Because, you know, you can't always, not everyone is always nice all the time. And try and get rid of those people from your life if you can. Yeah. Or just don't call them. And if they call you, then know how long you're comfortable with speaking with them and know whether you really want to pick up or not. And if you do, then pick up. Or wait until you do want to pick up. Or call them when you want to call them. Yeah, you just got to manage these things, you know, to manage your personal energies. Okay, so that was a street thing there. Street conversation with the guy with the trolley and the Bible and the wickedness, kicked in the balls, wickedness, need in the balls, blah. Corrections, isn't it? I don't know. Who cares? What else? Oh, well, why don't we leave it there? Pardon me. Thanks for watching. I'm going to go crack open a bottle of wine. Actually, I'm just going to pull the cork out of a bottle that's already... Never mind. Thank you. See you next time. I'm knackered. It's more draining than you think doing this story time, you know. Yeah. Catch you later. Bye.